Virgo, welcome to your reading. It's been a little minute. I'm sorry about the delay with the readings. I ended up taking a very much needed vacation, but we're back to business, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and get started. I'm gonna basically see what cosmic and or spiritual entities are going to be on your side at this time. Most likely it's going to be like a planet or something like that, but let's just see. Pluto. Okay, so Virgo, you have Pluto. So major changes that may feel scary is what you're guided towards at this time. When Pluto shows up, it basically says, I know you're afraid, but I don't give a damn. We have to make this change now, because if this change doesn't happen, you're going to be stuck in a hellish feeling, or you're not going to be able to become your best self. You're not going to be able to elevate the way that you need to. So we're going to see why this is showing up. Pluto, you know, it's a pretty scary type of energy, but honestly, it's not scary unless you're pushing against it. So as long as you go with the energy of change that needs to happen, and you're not trying to push back, or you're not trying to save things that are clearly trying to be taken away within your life, you should be fine. I'm going to go ahead and start your spread. Alright, so I have your spread here. Let's just go ahead and jump in. So one thing that I'm noticing about your spread, you have 3 number 8s. Okay, so I don't know if you're into numerology, but 888 means that there's a portal, I want to say, that's opening for you. 888 really talks about an infinite amount of consistent opportunity or good luck for some people. Basically saying that there is an infinite amount of opportunities for you to jump through a hoop that is going to get you to your next phase that you've been wanting to be a part of. So if you are into numerology, I encourage you to look up 888 because it is showing up 3 times within your reading. So your lucky number, or to know if you're in sync with something, or to know if you need to pay attention to something, is the number 8. If you see 888, pay attention to it, okay? So the gifts that you're going to be receiving at this time, we have 4 of Swords and 8 of Swords. So there is a lot of mental openings happening for you at this time. Now with this 4 of Swords, it's letting me know that you're going to be able to really get some messages, but also when I say messages, I mean like from your guides, or you know, meditation, introspection, a lot of information coming from within or from higher ups, spiritually speaking. So that's, of course, in itself is a very good thing. There's also this energy of you being able to relax. I feel as though you can give yourself permission to ease your mind. You don't have to worry. There's something that you're worried about, Virgo, and granted, with you being Virgo, there's always something to be worried about. But you don't have to worry about that at this time. You can relax. It's going fine. In fact, the reason that I'm saying that is because what this 8 of Swords is telling me is that whatever you're freaking out about or worried about is only in your mind. Okay, so sometimes, you know, there is reason to be worried about something, but what this reading is telling me at this time, you're realizing that all of those fears and worries and pessimistic views are in your mind. And if you keep focusing on that, you keep meditating on those situations, you are going to fuck yourself over. So the beauty in that is that, you know, with the 8 of Swords, it's basically saying like you are being the victim in this, and you don't have to be. You're choosing to do that. You can focus on something else. The 8 of Swords also says, look, things are going good, but you're messing it up because you're thinking that they're not going to go good. So whatever you're going through, and I'm 1,000% sure that you're worried about how something is going to turn out, or if you're going to be able to do it, if it's going to be good, bad, whatever. You don't have to worry about it. The outcome that you want will be yours, but you have to decide, is it going to be good or bad? And the way that you decide that is what your mind is focused on. Now, that's not always the case for all situations, but in this particular reading, your mindset is going to dictate what you get. So I encourage you to think positive. Unless you have absolute proof that something is bad or something is not right, or you know, someone lied, or whatever the case is, don't go into that rabbit hole of darkness. Don't do it. In fact, with Pluto being here, I'm almost positive that this transformation that you're about to go through, it's like you want something to be right, you want something to be good, but you're so afraid of it. You're so afraid of the good news that you would rather think that something bad is going to happen. And I get it. but that's not what the case is here, okay? Things are actually looking really, really well for you, and the only person that can screw this up is yourself and your mentality. It's all about the strength of your mind at this time. It really is. Moving on. So something that you are going to really benefit from, even if you don't realize it, is emotional withdrawal. Okay, so I feel like usually this is a very somewhat negative sign, or it can feel like it's not a good thing. But in this case, this is your saving grace. Sometimes as people, we have a tendency to expect the worst or put too much of our feelings into something, and so it misconstrues how things are actually looking realistically. In your case right now, Virgo, I really would encourage you to not necessarily detach from whatever you're worried about, but detach yourself from the negative aspects of that worry. In other words, whatever you're worried about, let's just leave it alone for now. If it ends up being bad, it ends up being bad, but from what I'm seeing, that's not the case. But when you focus on something like habitually and ritualistically, like, and you're focused on how bad it is, that's what's going to manifest. And I just feel like your guides are really pushing for you to, like, just stop worrying about it. Just kill it off in your mind. Like, just let it grow over time. Let it show itself to you. You don't go looking out for the bad things. If it's something bad that's going to come to you, you're going to know. But what I'm thinking is you're trying to create something bad because that's what you expect to happen, and that's just not what this has to be. It doesn't have to be that way. Emotional withdrawal. I think it's time for you to really not focus on how you're interacting with other people, or not focus on what you think other people feel about you, and just focus on yourself. Because clearly with this Four of Swords and the Eight of Swords, there's clearly some much needed mental rest that needs to happen. There's this energy of you needing to just be clear and just feel safe for a second. Take a nap, take a break. And if it's not that, trust that you deserve to have good things happen to you and for you. It's really wild how bold the message is that I'm seeing it here. It's basically saying like, yo, Virgo has it in the bag. Virgo's good. But Virgo is Virgo's biggest enemy, because Virgo won't stop thinking that things are going to turn out bad. And it's not to demonize you, but it's saying, can we change that? Can we change that pattern? Because as much as things are already good, they can be even better if Virgo would focus and put all that mental energy and that Mercury energy into good things. You understand what I'm saying? And I just got the chills when I said that. Wow. So I'm going to go ahead and read the message for this card particularly. If you don't want to hear it, skip through, honey. All right, let me see. Emotional withdrawal. This card represents moving away or withdrawing from a current situation in your life, whether it's an old love, a relationship, or leaving behind what was once familiar in search of new horizons or beginnings. So I'm going to pause right there. So that alone is telling me, like, if y'all hear stuff in the background, I don't know what to tell you, but just block it out. So basically what this message is saying is, like, if you are having all of these fears and all of these, like, mental blocks from a past situation, that is what is prohibiting you from being able to truly enjoy this new horizon. I feel like a lot of you are bringing in old baggage, which we all do that. But it's kind of like, enough is enough, Virgo. Like, if you're going to really go on this new journey, let's go on this journey. You understand what I'm saying? Like, let's just go all in. Because the only thing that's bad that can happen is if you don't see if this is what you want. Does that make sense? Like, you already experienced all the bad shit, whatever, in your past. So you know what that's like. So why are you not giving this a chance fully without all of that extra stuff? Like, let's give this a real shot. Okay, let me keep going. On a physical level, it's easy to get caught up in the materialistic world, but it's just as important to retreat from the outside world to enable you to pause, reflect, and heal. Schedule some alone time so you can commune with your soul and give the power of the spirit the opportunity to restore your energy level, giving you the vitality to move forward in a positive direction. So again, with this Four of Swords energy, taking that time to be to yourself, take a nap, take a break, meditate, be introspective, really see what's going on with you. A lot of these thoughts that you're having, it's not wrong that you feel this way, but it's the why. Why are you having these thoughts? Where do they stem from? If you want to, as Virgo, if you really want to get to the bottom of something, you have to ask questions. So instead of just having this fester, maybe take some time to really dissect why you're feeling this way. Because it's not wrong, but it's the why. You know what I'm saying? Behind it. If you can figure out why, then a lot of this won't be as big and gargantuan as it seems right now. The number 8 represents infinity, passion, control, and power. This is your time. Use this opportunity to tap into your heart and soul in order to find the courage and strength to continue your journey into that wonderful undiscovered territory. So here's where that fear comes in. You're going into something new, whether it's a relationship, a job, a new lifestyle change, maybe just being alone. Maybe for some of you it's just about being single. Whatever it is, you're going to uncharted territory, and that is scaring it's scaring you, period. This Pluto energy is saying, no, we're doing this because you need to do this to be on your highest frequency, to be on your path. You asked for this, now let's do it. And that's just what it is. Now, in order to do that, I do believe that you're going to have to take some time to really dissect, you know, what the problem is, or like why you're having these thoughts. And sometimes when you really dig and get to the bottom of it, you realize that it's not that serious. And the situations that you're afraid of, they're not even real. Okay? So I think you kind of get where I'm going with that. Let's go ahead and move on to your financial checkup and see how things are going for you in that way. So right now we do have swiftness, and we got some Mercury energy. So I feel like there's a lot of taking things from your checkings to your savings, or depositing, withdrawing. There's a lot of transactions happening within your financial life. It doesn't seem to be anything negative, but I feel like a lot of things are happening very fast. And I feel like as Virgo, you kind of want things to be prepared and planned, like the decisions you make when it comes to your finances, but for some reason that's just not happening. Moving forward, I do see disappointment in Mars, because I feel like some of you guys are, like I said, making movements a little too fast. And I feel like you're making decisions out of desire, if that makes sense, instead of actual need. So I want you to be like careful with what you're doing in that regard. Let me pull some more cards and see what's going on. Stability, right? So if you are making any choices financially, you need to be focused on stability, meaning you need to be focused on long-term purchases or things that you're saving up for. I would even say make sure your credit is being built at this time. Always make sure your credit is being built, but you know what I mean. Like, don't just be making big choices and big purchases without really understanding like what you're capable of doing, because you as Virgo, you're going to feel that disappointment if you do that. Now, granted, you being Virgo, your financial disappointment may be really small to someone else because you really care about stuff like that, but you don't want to put yourself through that issue. You already have a lot going on mentally, so to add your finances, to add a financial burden is not going to be the good thing. So make sure any purchases that you're making moving forward, just make sure it's really going to be of benefit. Make sure that it's something that you need and not something that you just want, or something that looks sparkly. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so that's what I'm seeing so far here. And I also would say for some of you, if you are like buying gifts or something last minute, don't do that. Really plan out everything that you're doing. You can buy big, but just plan it out and make sure you have the money to really afford what you're buying and not just go above your means, okay? So yeah, that's your reading. I hope that it, you know, got into those deep situations that we need to cover and tackle. Everything should be good for you as long as you don't beat yourself up, and as long as you're not sitting in that negative energy. Really try to get to the bottom of it. If you just can't stop thinking about it, figure out what the problem is. And if you don't want to do that, then just don't think about it. Like, let's just practice not thinking about like negative things, and let's practice thinking about things that we want to happen and drawing that into our own lives. You understand? So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this reading, make sure you leave me a thumbs up. Also, you can subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already, so that you are notified when I upload videos like this, and also spiritual information. I have a lot of food for thought videos coming, so make sure that you are subscribed for that. And also, if you want your own private reading with me, you can book one by going to my website. It should be up here. Yeah, and book your reading. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, Virgo.